Hello everyone, this is Dark Knight from Method Gaming. I hope you are all well. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video, and then this one is we're going to test a clan boss team. Basically, the idea was actually initially showed in one of MurderInc's videos, where he showed off how having a fast Duchess can pretty much guarantee that she's going to take the aggro of the clan boss and take the stun, as long as you have her fast enough to take 4 turns for the clan boss's 3. I think the speed was somewhere along 241 or something. Don't quote me on that though. You should check out the video to have a better idea. But he mentioned one other champion in that video, and that champion is actually a Void Rare, which I think is much more accessible than Duchess. I don't really have Duchess. And this is Steadfast Marshal, who I think will kind of fill that role. And the thing with him is he actually doesn't need that much speed because of the way his skills work. So his A1 is nothing special, attacks once, may place provoke, but that doesn't work on the clan boss. Might be useful for maybe faction wars. Then we've got Hold Fast, which is 60% increased defense for 2 turns and grants an extra turn. And this extra turn is actually what's going to help us stay within the 3 turn limit. And this is going to be basically negated by the clan boss's stun. So the stun is going to make this 3-turn cooldown skill into 4 turns, but the extra turn is actually going to bring it back down to 3 turns. Same goes for this skill, places a veil buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. So the idea behind this is we want him to place a veil right before the clan boss's stun, and that way everybody else is going to be veiled or stealthed, however you want to call it, and the clan boss will only have the option to attack this champion. So this is to prevent somebody important from getting stunned. I'm honestly not sure if this is going to work out. This is going to be my first tryout. I just decided to give it a shot and record it. Now let's take a look at his stats real quick. He is an HP based champion, so I think have him at decent HP. I'm also going to have an HP aura, which should add another 7,000 or so HP, so he should be looking at about 70,000 total HP with the aura. His defense that's about as high as I could get it, because his base defense is actually terrible. I have a defense percentage chest plate, however it's not ideal. I actually wanted to put all of the jewelry into defense, because that would actually bring me up higher rather than the percentage, because the percentage is based off of this defense and this is very low. So I might not even be using the ideal chest plate here. Maybe HP would be better, because his HP is actually quite high, so having a bit more HP instead of that defense could actually be better. But I actually don't have a good immortal chest plate with HP, so at this point this is what I have. My gear is not exactly anything to write home about, but this is basically what he's got. I kind of wish he had more crit chance, so he would hit harder and heal himself on the counterattack. But that's what I have on him for now. Speed is 171, he's the slowest. Next one is Skull Crusher with 172. Let me just show you real quick what the team looks like. This is Skull Crusher. Decent HP, good defense, 172 speed. I kind of wish this was better, but for now it's decent enough. Okay, Razin is another one that we're going to use. These are his stats, 30k hit points. He is fast because I use him in arena, so he is close to the speed cap of this team, but you know, still works. Crit rate is very low. For everybody, I just need to farm out better gear all together and just re-gear everybody in 5-star good gear or 6-star gear and so on, because they don't have the best gear on them right now. But honestly, I've been doing really well with the gear I have, so I think with some farming of gear, I would maybe get a 1-key nightmare, because right now I'm doing 2-key, but I'm closer to 1.5 key, so to speak. So this was Razin. I also use Jareg. Now I was thinking between using Jareg and Sepulcher. I'm actually going to try out Jareg first, because I think his this skill here, the continuous heal when an ally loses 20% of their max HP, is actually going to help keep the Marshal alive better than what Sepulcher has. On the other hand, though, this is a 50% chance that the Sentinel will not take any damage, so I think I'm going to just try both and see what works better, but I believe that this is going to be more consistent in terms of damage. This is more RNG based, whereas this is guaranteed. When the Marshal starts taking those bigger hits, that 15% HP heal is going to be there always, whereas here it's 50% for per hit, so that's not a guarantee. So there's Jareg. His total stats are 48k HP, 3.4 defense, 173 speed. Fairly decent crit rate, could be better, and crit damage is not that good. And okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course Frozen Banshee. This is what she looks like. HP is kind of low, 27k, 3.3k defense. That's a decent one. I don't find her to die too soon. Even with the low HP, she kind of stays alive for the most part. She's one of the first to die, but usually everybody else drops in the next 1 or 2 turns. So it's not like she dies very early in the key. 173 speed. Okay. And normally I use Doom Priest as my cleanser. So for now, the team I've been using, it doesn't matter where the stun lands, because Doom Priest is always going to cleanse it through her passive, and also toss a small heal, 7.5% every time she takes a turn. So this has been my sustain, so to speak, besides the lifesteal. She actually, let's take a look at her stats. 40k HP, 2.6k defense, which seems kind of low compared to the others, but actually she is usually one of the last people alive. I can't explain why, because her defense is much lower than the others, but she does stay alive just as long as everybody else, sometimes one of the last ones standing. Her speed is 186, 1 speed more than my Razin, because basically I got Razin as high as I could, 185, without outspeeding Doom Priest, of course, because I need her to go first and cleanse everything before anybody else goes. So I'm going to be replacing Doom Priest, basically, which I hope that it's going to work out well, but I don't really know. Like I said, this is my first attempt. Let's take a quick look at the Masteries. I haven't finished the Masteries yet. I was actually just farming those until a few minutes ago. But I got War Master. I got the Retribution and this one as well, which are I think are the most important ones. Some heals when he starts dropping low, and just a general route that you would normally go. I didn't take this one, Resurgent. 50% chance to remove 1 random debuff from this champion when losing 25% max HP. I didn't take this one because it would mess up his rotation, so we definitely don't want that. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so actually, luckily, I was able to get this done before the Nightmare boss drops below 50%. I wanted to try it out on Void difficulty. Void affinity. But normally I do about, I would say, anywhere between 22 to close to 30 million with my regular team. So I'm hoping to see improvement. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is my regular team. Let's see, let's do it like this, and hopefully it works out. Okay, let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, so definitely clicked that a bit late. That's unfortunate. It's going to affect my... okay. Just bad luck all over the place. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what works here. For now, we're just going to use basics. Okay, so this is not ideal. I wanted to go on a different turn, but might as well try it now. Alright, let's see. We want this first to increase his defense, and make sure he does it every time before this skill. They're on the same cooldown, but if both are off cooldown, he's going to do this skill first. So he'll place the veil first, and then he'll buff himself up with the 60% increased defense. Which I kind of want this to go the other way around. I want him to do this first, 60% defense. That way, when he places the veil and takes the hit, he's going to have that 60% defense up always. So he'll be looking at about 4,000 defense at that point. So I will do this first, and this, when I hit auto, this should go throughout the rotation altogether. So let's see if it works. So he takes the stun, he'll stay stunned because there's nobody to cleanse him. And from this point we should be able to just hit auto. We'll see how this works out. That was a bad start though. I took too long with taking this off of auto, so Razin didn't use his decreased defense and weaken on the first turn, which is going to mess up my damage, I think. And resist on the poison sensitivity is also annoying. Okay, so there we go. He did his increased defense and the whatchamacallit. Okay, good. Now you see, he only has Veil, not perfect Veil like Duchess, for example. So with Veil, not only do you get only 7.5% damage decrease as opposed to 15 for perfect Veil, but also whenever whoever's under Veil attacks, their Veil drops off. So here's the interesting part. Everybody will attack and their Veil will drop off, which is definitely unfortunate. However, right after he places the Veil on the next turn, the Skull Crusher will toss a counterattack, which means that he will actually, there we go, he stays under Veil, which is excellent because he'll be taking damage from that ally protection, so the 7.5% damage decrease, I'm hoping is going to keep him alive longer. So let's see how far in we can get with this team. It's an interesting concept. I honestly don't think I'll do better than my regular team. I've actually been really surprised by how well Doom Priest does in this particular team. Honestly, I think the only thing that I need to change with this team, so in order for me to be able to get to 1 key Nightmare and maybe a 3 key Ultra Nightmare, is to just get them better gear. just get them more crit chance, crit damage, switch out their gear eventually, maybe get some crit damage amulets instead of defense amulets, for example. I think that would definitely work, but first I need to get them more crit rate, because, you know, why stack crit damage if I don't have the crit rate to make sure that I'm critting? So that's kind of what I've been thinking, but it seemed like such an interesting idea when I watched MurderInc's video, so I really wanted to try it out. Now this is the scary part. When he is stunned, he doesn't take a turn. He doesn't hit the boss, and therefore he doesn't heal by his what's it called, lifesteal set. So he does, however, have ally protection from Skull Crusher. So I am hoping that this will be enough to keep him alive in the later stages when the clan boss starts hitting really hard. By the way, if you're hearing some background noise like rustling, there's actually a kind of a storm outside. Left the window open, so you might be hearing that. Sorry about that if you are. Okay, so about 12 million damage for 19 turns. It's actually not that good, unless we can see major survivability with this build. I think it's going to do worse than my regular build, which is kind of, you know, kind of a letdown, because I was hoping that it's going to be at least a small improvement, but we'll see. So 20 turns, 13 million damage. He's starting to take more damage. That's more than half his health. That's not good. Tried to make him as tanky as I could, but that's as far as I got. That was a weak, very weak hit. 7,000 damage. No War Master. He didn't really heal himself that much, but there we go. That's better. I think this mastery where he counterattacks whenever somebody takes more than, I think was 25% damage, that is actually something that will definitely keep him alive, because he was counterattacking when he didn't have counterattack up, but because people were taking so much damage, he actually went and counterattacked and healed himself. So I think this is an important part of the build. There he goes, he's back to full. Let's see. Okay. So again, he counterattacked even though he didn't have counterattack, because somebody triggered the mastery. Okay. So 18 million so far, 27 turns. See how it works. I'm actually really annoyed that couldn't get Razin to do his decreased defense and weaken on the first turn. I think this could actually affect the damage significantly. I have to keep trying. Let's see. This part is critical. I want to see how he'll fare when the clan boss starts hitting really hard. Okay, let's see. So he's taking some serious damage now. This is the critical part. Okay, he survived that. I don't think he'll survive the next turns though. So 20 million. Let's see. It's back to full, that's good. Oh, almost. That's close. There he goes. Yeah, he couldn't have survived that. Okay, so he made it 34 turns. I'm gonna have to remember that, give or take. At about 23 million. It's okay. It's not a bad key, definitely. I mean, it's a comfortable 2 key for sure. But it's really not an improvement on what I was doing before. Ah, Jurek took that, stun like a champ. Oh, he's still alive. Can't believe it. Is Jurek gonna die from... No. Thought he was gonna die from the poison, but I think the heal kicks in right before that. They're still alive. I'm actually surprised. Skull Crusher needs to heal to full. Ouch! Yep, there goes my poison. 40 turns, that's actually not too bad. They're gonna break 27, let's see. 27 mil, come on, do it. Razin. Nah. Okay, actually for first time I think this was a decent key. This was a decent run. I'm okay. There's some potential in this. I think if I like make this guy into an ultra tank, that would definitely help. So I'm looking at, let's see, maybe move out of defense percentage and go for HP. I definitely need 6-star accessories here so I can push his defense higher, because I think just from having 6-star accessories instead of look at this is a 4-star, but because of the percentages I actually wanted to keep these. So if I push into 6-star here, I'd be looking at a lot more flat defense. And then if I move into a HP percentage maybe, to push his HP even higher than that, defense should be right about the same if I can get these improved. There's definitely some potential. If you guys have good gear, you might want to try to go for this this theme if you can't really, if you see that you're having problems with guaranteeing that the stun doesn't go on somebody important, like for example Skull Crusher, then this could be an option. Actually, I think this could be an interesting option. Honestly, basically the 2 variations of my team with Doom Priest and with Steadfast Marshal kind of do the same thing. But we might be actually looking at more survivability with Steadfast Marshal. So that means that if I manage to push damage on everybody, including him, I might be looking at better keys, and maybe even a 1 key at some point in the future. So anyway, that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, or at least found it useful. This is my first take on this particular build. I think I'm gonna keep testing it. I especially want to see it in Ultra Nightmare, see how this same build works there. I might actually record that one as well a few hours from now when I get another key. That'll be interesting. For Ultra Nightmare, my old team actually gets about anywhere between 13 and 20 million. So I could potentially 4-key Ultra Nightmare if I wanted to. Normally I spend 2 keys in Nightmare to get both chests, and then I spend 2 more keys into Ultra Nightmare to get this chest here, because I usually end up with about 26-27 million or so. Today I ended up at about 43 million, I think, because I had 2 very good keys with 20-something million each. So I think I'm gonna keep trying and push this into something better, something more. Even if I can get, let's say, this chest, if I can push 46 million with 2 keys and get this chest, that would at least be an improvement. So we'll see how it works out. I'll keep you guys posted, and if I find anything exciting, I'll make sure to let you know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Stay safe, guys. Practice social distancing, all that stuff. And I hope you guys are well. Have a good one.